I was also at the Moana-Water of Life conference, and I decided that I wanted to talk to you about what we might do in Southern Otago as a result of this. So just wanted to put out there, Church Life Survey comes up again. I know because of that, 95% of the 20,357 people who filled it out believe that Christians have a responsibility to care for the environment. So I know I'm preaching to the choir, good on you.
Yeah.
So why are we not all doing a lot more for the environment as Christians than we are now? And I think if you're anything like me, it's because you've already got 99 worthy things to do, and climate is just number 100. So what I'm going to say to you today is, why is this a fun thing? Why is this a good thing? And why is this an opportunity for the church? So, yeah, I'm going to talk about climate resilience meets church resilience. We all want church resilience, no matter who we are. And some of us struggle with it, and there's a lot of reasons for that. So what I'm saying is that our work in climate resilience can help our church resilience. This is the lovely Archbishop Siona Ululu-Lakepa, who is the Bishop of Polynesia, and he has challenged every church in his diocese to take action every year, direct action to care for their environment in their parish, and direct action to build their churches as places of evacuation, safety and disaster response support for their communities. And they are doing it amazingly well. It all starts with prayer. So every year in the season of creation, which runs from the 1st of September to the 4th of October, all the parishes in the Diocese of Polynesia have a prayer service giving thanks for creation and focusing on our need to care for creation. And they drag in other churches with them. Every Anglican parish in Polynesia each year in the season of creation cleans up a waterway, a coastline, plants mangroves or trees, does a very practical action, and they work with their community to do that. We can do it too. Between farm in Bill Patterson's farm in the parish of Gore and the parish of Dunedin North, we've just, for a couple of years in the season creation, planted riparian planting around waterways on his farm, and it's been so much fun that when my daughter and her best friend sitting in the pew last week heard the whaka dad say that we're going to do it again this year, they yelped with delight. If you're sitting there thinking, we can't do it in our parish, we don't have young people, we don't have enough people, please, please seek a volunteer. It literally is the magic bullet. Come up with a cool thing to do, put it online. Do you know that there is nothing on Seek Volunteer for you to do in arts and culture, climate strategy, or disaster response, or disaster aid, or resilience work in Gore? Did you know that? And that's just the one I looked up. So you've got an open market team, and that's just another organisation there that plants trees in Southland and Otago and around the country that you can join in with, and you can get trees from them. So this is an evangelism opportunity, a huge evangelism opportunity. It's looking at us working with the shared values of New Zealand. Faith and Belief Study tells us that that people in New Zealand really care about the environment and also really worried about climate change. It's an opportunity for churches to lead their community. It massively increases our licence to operate with people who care about this. And it's a slow burn evangelism. It's not a stand on the street corner. It's a we share things we care about, and you come to know that some of the other things we care about might be viable too. So that's the statistics from the Faith and Belief Study. 72% of what churches are appreciated for in wider society are met by what we might do in climate resilience. And there's also, in the Faith and Belief Study, proof that a lot of New Zealanders who have fears about something that makes them feel hopeless in the next 5 years, actually put climate change and the planet at the top. So we actually have an opportunity to offer not only practical action, but hope and Christian hope into this space. So that's the top 3: state of the planet, the future of human life in the next 5 years. So just going to blast through the awesome things churches in the Diocese of Polynesia do. They map their communities, they identify where the climate-related stress points are, where they're going to need to protect people, where the vulnerabilities are. They work with scientists, and you've got Beth Elizabeth Holland reappearing there. She's a climate scientist at the University of South Pacific, or was. And I just wanted to put into here that in our diocese we've already got a lot of scientific knowledge, and a lot of that is actually held by our farming community, because in their business plans they've got environmental mitigation. They know how to assess what's going on in their waterways, and they're doing land management, whereas people in our towns and cities are just not in that space. So we need to look like the Diocese of Polynesia does at our assets and how we can use them to be supporting our communities in climate resilience. Every church in the Diocese of Polynesia is an evacuation centre. So they either have solar, they have generators, they have water supplies, and they work with Anglican missions, yay Anglican missions, on food security things and on placement of disaster supplies. So I just looked this up for us in Dunedin North. We've got 3 churches, well 2 churches and 1 former church in our parish. We've got our 19th century All Saints, we've got our 20th century St Martin's, and we've got our secularised St Thomas's. If you look at the map of our parish on the Otago Regional Council flood risk website, in a flood, All Saints is underwater. St Martin's has lost access because the entirety of North Road is gone underwater. And if you look up there at the top of that slide, you'll see Pine Hill. Where's the water? So, you know, we were pressured to get rid of St Thomas's, but we kept it. And we might all need to have a bit of a stop and think about a reassessment of every single building we have. Is it a burden, or could it be our salvation? I don't know, we've got to look it up on the map, like Polynesia do. So see the training just very, very quickly. Young people in the Diocese of Polynesia have been training in protecting their communities and making them more climate resilient by basically putting together some beautiful Excel spreadsheets, tracking how every household in their parish is or isn't vulnerable in terms of all that stuff about mapping where they are, but also other kind of vulnerabilities like people who are recently bereaved. They're going to be, mental health vulnerable if something happens. Have they got cash supplies, all this kind of thing. So it made me immediately think, if we're being a loving, good Christian community, do we actually know all the vulnerabilities in our communities? And the first thing is, in this day of email and mobile phones, do we actually know where people live? Do we have their physical address? If the Alpine fault goes even, can we get round there? Do we even know where they are? It's kind of the core of being a Eucharistic community to care about each other, love each other, and be the first to respond. And I'm sure there are communities in our church who could do that, but I'm not sure that we could. I'm working on the parish register. There is amazing practical opportunity in this for us as a church. As we move our thinking towards how we are going to serve the community and how we are going to resource the community, then the community sees us as a resource. So when Cyclone Gabriel hit Kaipara in Northland, St Peter's in Dargaville, they opened their doors, they were there, they used every resource they could put their hands on. They got a generator, They had their hall open for people to be in there. They were warm. They gave them food. People mobilised. And as a result, Hapaitia, our own church's Cyclone Gabriel response unit, funded them to actually improve their capacity to do that should another situation happen. And then the government came to the party and neck minute, $100,000 worth of solar panels and batteries. They've got no electricity bills in their church anymore. So, you know, there's a carrot. I think that's the end of my little talk. And I just want to say that it's just a whole other way of thinking about how we engage with this. It's just good news both ways. And I really want to encourage you to try and do it. We're in the season of creation.